Hello.
Hi, everyone. It's Nicole and Love Infinity on Positive Impact for Your Mind and Body. We're back again. We took a little break last week because I had to take a course, but now we're back and rolling. So, hi, Love. It's nice to see you again.
Nice to see you. And I have to tell you, I've been loving the guests that we've been having on.
Yeah, aren't they awesome?
I love them.
I am all over that. I've been on the search. And that's going to continue. I have some great people coming up in December as well. I'm assuming we're not doing a podcast on Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah, probably not this week. Wait, and everybody listening, normally Nicole and I are on at 3:00 on Tuesdays, but we've been changing it up. Today's been one of those days where my podcast, Tuesdays and Thursdays I'm loaded up. And then Wednesdays I have Fallon in the afternoon and then Topher once a month. I would like to get some more vegan people. I have David Wolf's assistant, Cassie, coming on. Her and I just something keeps coming up, like when we plan our podcast, and she's like the superfood. He's the superfood guy.
Right.
So today's topic, Happy Valentines. Happy Valentines, everybody, and Happy New Year.
Little did you know.
This is what I say, Happy Merry Christmas. Happy Thanksgiving week. That's what I will say.
That's good. Let's land on that one.
Yeah, and I don't know about you, but we want to talk about keeping the weight to your normal weight, or even losing weight, because you can retrain your mind.
Yes.
Believe it or not. Gelato and ice cream and potato chips burn fat for me. And it took a long time to retrain my brain for that. So nobody try to change it, please.
Whoa.
But all that said, being vegan, like I'm invited to a couple of Thanksgivings this year. Hi, what's his name? Forgot that one.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on. You keep talking.
He wants to be on the podcast. So everyone, Nicole, what's your dog's name? We could say his name out loud.
Coda.
Coda. Come on now.
So she's gonna be wrangled by my son for a little bit.
She's gonna try to be on the podcast.
Yes.
She's rooting for turkey, I think. I don't know. She heard the word vegan and she went crazy.
She does. She begs at the table with turkey or chicken. She's always there. So I think a lot of people set themselves up for failure because they just assume they're just going to eat everything in sight. And I think that's a mistake. You can still enjoy Thanksgiving, but you don't have to binge at Thanksgiving. And
I look at a table full of food or a buffet or whatever, and I am so full. I get full looking at a bunch of food. I can do that. And I can smell it, and one bite and I'm full. Sometimes
it's overwhelming. It can be overwhelming, honestly, the amount of food that we ingest. And we have to remember, that Thanksgiving time traditionally was a celebration of all the harvest and everything that was so plentiful back then. And it was justifiable because so many jobs were physically oriented. You physical activity. You had to till the fields. You had to pick the fruits and the vegetables. You had to milk the cows. You had to go wash your laundry down at the river. Now, we simply don't need that much energy in our body to sustain us. So it's good to start creating a couple of rules up front. One, I like to drink at least 1 or 2 glasses of water before dinner.
That helps with your wine intake. If you have
absolutely
a water, like every glass of wine, a glass of water with it.
Yeah.
I do have to say something off the record, off your health track where you're going right now.
Okay, where are we going?
My 2 sons, you have 3 sons growing. They can't wait. Like typically the night before Thanksgiving is I don't know if you know this, it's the largest night of going out out
Yes.
on the town because
Out for dinner.
kids are back in town. People are back in town that normally they go home to their families. They go out, they're hungover, and they pig out watching football all day on Thanksgiving. My sons cannot wait. They even say it like this: I am going to eat until I go into a food coma.
Well, here's the thing, and again, that's kind of justifiable. My sons came home from, one was just on a trip and the other one was in Rhode Island for school. And I want to say that, not to say that the food was horrible at school, but inevitably I always hear about how much they miss home cooking. And like I said, like that's justifiable. They're in their 20s, and I totally get that. They have far faster metabolisms than people, our age or older. And it's easy to kind of get off track thinking that you can eat the same you did as when you were 20 and still have the same body weight, but that's just not kind of like a good idea. So
I have some friends in the Jewish religion, and fasting's a big thing. So they say, eat whatever you want today and fast tomorrow. I don't know if I'm giving that advice.
No, and this we want to go back to, we want to be advocates for healthy behaviors. This is part of the problem when you set the standard that you binge and fast through the holidays. You're actually training your body on how to hold on to weight, how to continue to be heavy. So the better thing to do is, like I said, to fill yourself up with water, lots of vegetables before you actually eat dinner. So have carrots, have some broccoli, and in the raw is even better.
Really? Why?
Celery. Huh?
Why is raw better than cooked?
Because the fiber in the raw vegetables helps to take up space in the stomach and the intestines. It helps you eliminate faster. There are a lot of benefits to having raw vegetables before a big meal like that. The other thing I like to do is everyone in our family before Thanksgiving, we get a workout in. So my go-to, so like tomorrow, I will do some HIIT training. I will do some weightlifting and cardio. And then Thursday morning, I get up early. I stick the turkey in. I prep the turkey the night before. And I stick the turkey in, and then I go for a run.
That's great.
Yeah, so it's like a run for like an hour and a half. So you don't really feel like you've overindulged, even if you do eat a little bit more, because you've had that opportunity to waste all that energy, and now you're going to regain some of that energy back. So there's a lot of little tricks like that that I think are very helpful for most people, so they can maintain their weight. And if you want to lose weight throughout the holidays, I think one of the best things to do is use your hand as a rule of thumb. So this is how big your stomach is typically, right? So think about a portion of that being proteins, a portion of that being maybe stuffing, a portion of that maybe vegetables or potatoes or something. You don't want to expand too far outside of the circumference of your own fist, let's just say. And that's just a rule of thumb. And I know that after you've eaten that, give it like 5 minutes, rest, take a sip of wine, chat for a little while, and see how you feel after 5 or 10 minutes. If you feel full after 5 or 10 minutes, there's really no reason to go back for seconds. But if you're not feeling full, you may want to take another glass of water or eat some raw vegetables while you're sitting there. I'm not suggesting that like you beat yourself up and be super strict about this, but what I'm suggesting is that there are alternatives. And what I really want people to do, don't you love this? When they get excited about talking about the conversation, that's the beautiful piece of this. That's the nourishing piece of this emotionally and mentally, is that you're actually engaging with people you love and who love you. And that is what's going to boost the endorphins the most. After that, it's a serotonin trip and you're going sliding down right into a nap after dinner. But while you're, what?
I said food coma. That's what my boys would call it.
Yeah.
So what do you cook for Thanksgiving? Do you mostly have vixens, like the vegetables?
Oh yeah. I do. I always have roasted Brussels sprouts, but this year I'm adding pancetta and a little balsamic vinaigrette to the normal oil and salt and pepper. And then I also have sweet potatoes. We don't do sweet potatoes all the time. I think they're a better nutrient than a white potato, but we will be doing whole roasted sweet potatoes. I also do string beans, not almondine this year. I'm going to try a non-dairy creamer.
Wow, you're full-fledged, not total opposite of vegan.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I've never been vegan. I tried to be a vegetarian when I was in my teens. It didn't work out so well for me, but that's fine. You know, you can be a vegetarian, but I do a traditional turkey. I do all that.
Well, we have a question. What can I do to lose weight? Lose weight. Exercising is always good. Earning your meal.
Well, I think that's a huge part of this whole conversation is establishing what you really need to eat, you know, and feeling good about that. Like knowing that you don't need to eat 5 servings of turkey and mashed potatoes. You can stick with a very small serving the size of your hand. And the idea is that you know, you're feeding your body regular nutrients so that your metabolism keeps burning and burning and burning, but you're also keeping a steady diet of physical activity in your life, whether it's a long walk, a weight training workout, or, you know, if you end up doing yoga, take a spin class, something to balance it out cardiovascularly. It's that combination.
Family members, walking is always good.
Walking is beautiful. My father was the thinnest man I ever knew, and he walked everywhere except work. He had to commute in his car to work, but he walked to the grocery store, he walked to church, he walked to get ice cream, he walked everywhere, and he was literally the thinnest man I know. However, that being said, I will say people who walk 10,000 steps a day and they get used to that, their body gets used to that, they're not going to lose weight. They're going to maintain where they are because there's a concept in weight loss called physiological adaptability. And when your body adapts to your physical exercise or activity, it ceases to burn calories effectively. So you want to change your physical activity every 3 to 4 weeks entirely. So maybe you do walk for 3 weeks just to get yourself started. I think even after 2 weeks, you want to start getting some weight training in there. You want to start doing some higher heart rate cardio training. That will help to burn calories more effectively. And then you'll do another thing after 2 or 3 weeks, maybe start a spinning class for 2 weeks and then circle back to HIIT training.
It's just important to change it up. I get bored anyway. I have to change my stuff.
I get so bored.
I have to change it.
I seriously get so incredibly bored.
With the same or the same things. I even have to move around my furniture a lot. Yeah, I can't. I get crazy, and it's driving me crazy right now. I'm not able to move around my bedroom furniture, and because the bed will only go in one spot.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy. I love moving around, and it helps you clean, and it's good exercise. The cleaning before and after. There you go.
Yes.
So Dr. Furman believes that you overeat when you don't get your nutrients. So he calls it being a nutritarian. When your body is full, like if you do a smoothie in the morning on Thanksgiving that has chopped spinach, put some vegetables in there, put some fruits in there, your nutrients are going to be met and you won't probably overeat at Thanksgiving.
Okay, so there are like so many philosophies about why people overeat. But the reality is it could be lack of nutrients. It could be a need for energy. It could be that you can't stand your mother-in-law and she's coming for Thanksgiving. You know, it literally could be anything, emotional, mental, or physical.
We have an audience here, by the way, laughing in the background.
Tell me that's not true. Tell me that's not true that people eat because of emotional issues.
Well, no, we were going to touch on that subject too with anxiety through the holidays, especially this year being COVID. And then not being able to get together with your family, maybe that's a blessing for some people and maybe not. But
Right. Yeah, it's a double-edged sword because I know for myself, I really do love my sister and my brother, and we really get along very well. So they have opted not to come to our house for Thanksgiving this year, and that's okay. I'm going to miss out on some of the endorphin rush when I see them. But on the flip side, I'm not having anyone else over, so I'm not stressing about it either. I think, don't you think? Are you having company, Charity?
well, I'm going to friend's house. My dad is he's up north, and he is only having like just my brothers and their wives and the kids over. Normally he would have all his brothers and their families and over. And this year they're not, because he's in Michigan, and Michigan is one of the states who's closed down completely. He said everything is closed, everything. He goes crazy with that because my dad is very social.
Yeah.
He's big into the VFW. He runs the VFW. He raises a ton of money for vets.
Wow.
And he's going crazy because he's a social light. He really is. And I don't know how is it up there, because it's getting bad down here again.
We rolled back. I think we were in like the third stage of reopening, and we rolled back to the second stage because of the incidents in COVID. We live about 15 minutes south of Danbury, Connecticut, and that is a hot spot apparently. And there are other hot spots around us, but our town isn't necessarily one of them. But we have noticed an influx of COVID cases in the school system. But it is such an unusual time right now, and I'm sure that just knowing that, I was thinking about this the other day, people are like stressed out because everywhere they go, like I think we'd mentioned this before in another podcast, they're seeing the signs on the floor, the signs on the front doors of every business. You must wear a face mask. You must maintain 6 feet distance. You must use hand sanitizer. They're placed throughout the store. Here are these sanitizing wipes for your wagon, your cart, whatever. That does.
You blocked up.
Can you see me now?
You totally blocked, or it
dropped entirely.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. You might have to repeat what you just said because I didn't hear any of that.
Well, any of those public warning signs about masks and gloves and, maintaining 6 feet social distancing and hand sanitizer, that is all super, super stressful to begin with. So, I think where we're not getting stressed making the meal for Thanksgiving, we're probably stressed just trying to stay safe, keep ourselves away from the hazardous areas. So it's stress, you're going to find stress everywhere, right? But I go back to, I have a program every morning I do. I didn't do it this morning because I was meeting with you and I have a lot of other obligations, but most mornings I get up, I work out, I eat, shower, and meditate. And that sets the tone for the day. So whatever you're stressing about, like if you're not going to go for a walk right away, get the turkey in the oven and sit and breathe. Just breathe.
Breathing, breath.
Yeah.
Just incredible thing you can do.
Allow your mind to not have any other voices, any other situations, any other distractions in it. Allow your mind. And I do this sometimes is I'll listen to this. Ironically, tinnitus, has a benefit. When I meditate, sometimes I'll just tune into the tone in my ears and allow that to calm me down. But I also love using meditation music. Do you have any favorite led meditations?
I have so many favorite meditations, and mine are guided meditations. And it's funny because today it was so strange. I was really having a hard time getting up, and I went to bed pretty early. And my phone, like with this new download, just scheduled me to go to bed by 11 or 12 and then wake up at 6. So I get 7 hours of sleep or something. I don't know. Maybe it's 10. I have this app called Insight Timer.
Oh, cool.
And it offers you courses and stuff. I used to be a member of this other meditation app. This one I like better because it has thousands and thousands of meditations. In fact, I'll share it in the comments.
Yeah, do.
Because the Insight Timer, I just got done doing. It's cool because it shows you people around the world meditating at the same time as you.
Wow.
And then there's a ton of courses on here. And I just finished this 10-day course on chants.
Woo.
Chant. And the woman's voice is so beautiful. And she plays the guitar and she sings the chants.
Mm-hmm.
Today was the last day of doing it. And then there's meditations from a 5-minute one to a 30-minute meditations. And I just kept playing meditation after meditation this morning because I could not get up. What it was. And there's so many different ones. Like the morning meditations are my favorite ones because they're all about gratitude and setting the tone of your day, your intentions. Some of them have affirmations that you say, you declare that your day is going to be this way or this way. Some of them are.
I think part of the key to not just weight loss or maintenance and stress relief is figuring out what your buttons are. You know, like what pushes your emotional, mental buttons that cause you to maybe overeat or overindulge, or maybe feel like you can't get out of bed. You know, what are the buttons that are going on for you? Is it physiological? Is it emotional? Is it a mental thing that you grapple with or you struggle with? Once you can identify what that thing is, it becomes so much easier to manage. Like if you know you definitely have your buttons pushed with the stress of, maybe preparing the meals, then you can go to maybe that app, or you can just put on some music that you just sit and breathe and check in with your body one area at a time. Start at the top of your head and move to your throat and move to your heart and move to your solar plexus, and just continually check in with each area of your body and try to deliberately relax that area that brings your attention most. Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. There's also, if you are an Apple user, Apple Music and Spotify and them, they have Thanksgiving music mixes and meditation, chillax music, especially when you're cooking, having a glass of wine.
Sometimes I'll just, sometimes I'll just turn on YouTube on the great room because it's right next to our kitchen. I'll turn on YouTube and I had a Christmas jazz mix because no one else wanted to listen to it. I was alone in the kitchen cooking and I was like, I'm going to do this
and
myself.
That's the best when you're in the kitchen dancing.
Oh, yeah.
Making the food taste better. I just text you the link or this link for the Insight Timer if you want to share it with people.
Sure. Oh, you can't type it in? I'm sorry.
No, I'm not able to when so I just shared that with you.
INSIG.HT?
If you copy that link and put it in there, it'll.
Well, it's on my phone, so it's not on my computer, so I'd have to type it in.
I can email it to you if you want.
Let me see. Insight. So that's going to be a precious gift to yourself that you are able to calm your mind before the meal. That will definitely help you control how you eat, if that makes sense. Okay, that's what I got. But the other thing is focusing on other things other than food during the day. Like I know I have,
I said football, but that might stress them out, especially if they're gambling on it or something. Or
football. We have a basketball hoop. We don't have a lot of room. So sometimes we'll have, what are those, that game where you frisbee throw into a can and,
Playing games.
Playing games outside.
We always, this year we're playing the game Humanity or something like that. It's
Crimes Against Humanity.
Yes, and there's 2 games that my friends and I play at, and we are planning on playing it this Thanksgiving, where we end up laughing until we all cry or we feel like we did 1,000 sit-ups, and it's so funny because you answer, someone says the question, then you answer it, and then you have to guess whose answer is what, and you throw people off. You put something off the wall.
I bought that for my oldest son as a gift. I don't think we could play that with a 15-year-old though.
I had to look up stuff. I wish I didn't know what it was.
Exactly. I would say that for everyone.
I don't know this stuff, and I'm like, what? Who thinks of this stuff? Like, really?
Yeah. Game makers that want to sell, that want to make money.
No, the answers, some of the questions, I'm like, what?
They're a little over the top.
I don't want to repeat it on the show.
Yeah, don't do that. But I think that's the best way to handle, and that also the practice of gratitude, right? The practice of gratitude, boy, that puts perspective on anything. Once my son came home from school, he was like really miserable. He's like, I've been through the last 4 weeks have been like 4 of the worst weeks of my life because of the intense, his school was going 6 days a week. And so he only had like Sunday to catch up with all the studying and paper writing and putting up programs for contests they were a part of. He had a team at school. And I felt for him because that's a super intense schedule to keep up with for 3 months. So when he finally came home, he was just so grateful that, we cleaned his room, I did his laundry, and he was just so grateful to be in a room alone for more than 15 minutes, with his roommate at school and everything. He was always there. So it was kind of nice to have him home and appreciating everything that was going on around him, even though in the moment it was like, now he had to adapt to a new situation. But we all do that. I think sometimes we take a lot for granted, and just knowing like, wow, we have a roof over our heads. We have a really good relationship with all of our kids. We have great neighbors and people who love us. And that's where I think we really need to refocus our attention, not so much on the food or, if we're going to eat vegan or turkey, or if we're going to partake in the 5 desserts that are available. The thing that we are going to focus on is how wonderful it is.
Uh-oh, you locked up. Uh-oh.
I don't know why it hits you first, and then your face stops, and I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything you said, so maybe that's a good note to end on, being grateful.
Yeah, grateful.
Grateful. I'm grateful for you, Nicole, and all your knowledge and all your healing modalities, and just Thanksgiving in general. And you're such a dear friend to me. I love you so much. And
I love you too. We have to get together soon.
I know. I'm craving a trip. I'm getting
and it also it occurred to me that maybe with all of this resurgence of the COVID, I guess we may have to postpone January. We're not doing the January thing. No. Okay.
We'll postpone it just till maybe spring. So we'll check back in. I'm happy Thanksgiving, everyone. We love you. We'll see you next week.
Yep. Love you too, love. Take care. Have a very, very happy Thanksgiving. And you get virtual hugs from me.
Yeah, hugs.
Okay. Bye. Bye, everyone. Have a great Thanksgiving.